today we are going to take a look at the Turtles module. All right, now I want to start off to that, guys, to just let you know that Turtles module, this is designed to be a learning tool, to be a chance to practice some of your basic coding skills. So pretty much a lot of the things we've learned so far already, those can be applied to Turtles. We can use if-then statements if we wanted to. We're going to learn how to use loops in this particular chapter, at least the for loop, which is one variety of loops. We'll look at the while loop later on, but I believe some people have already used that successfully in making like their Fibonacci sequence the other day. So what's interesting about Turtles is a module, so we're going to actually have to import that. Okay, so we're going to have to open up this Turtles library. So Turtles module basically has these libraries of special functions that we can use. And what a lot of people like about this is it gives us a chance to get graphical, to make essentially graphics without having to go through all of the sort of more complex ways we make graphics. Okay, so we're going to start out today by importing our module first. And it's really simple. We just type the word import, make sure it's all lowercase. And the Turtles module is just called Turtle. So we're just going to say import Turtle. Now I'm going to tab this over here, and I'm going to just do a few hashtags early on here. So this opens the Turtles library. Okay, so once we open the Turtles library, we've got a bunch of new functions that we can start to do. Okay. All right, now when we run Turtle, it's not going to run in the shell as the other programs we've run so far are. In fact, we're going to have to open up a window, right? Just like you would if you were opening up a Word document. It's going to open up a whole new window. So we need to tell our program to do that. So we're going to type WN for window, okay, equals, and now we're going to write the word turtle. And we're going to say dot, and with a capital letter S, we're going to write the word screen. And then I'm going to do a couple of close parentheses there. Okay, so that's a function. And so what that function is going to do is this is going to create a window for our little turtle to move around in. And I'll explain sort of the idea behind turtle, what the analogy is, why we call this turtles. Okay, so that's going to create our window. So when we run this, we're actually going to get a little pop-up that pops up outside of the shell, so we can see this separate window. Now later on, you guys can play around. You can actually change the background color, but default is going to be just a white background. Now I'm going to keep it there for readability. If you know how to change the background color, you're welcome to. It's really super easy to do. But we'll look at that kind of thing later. Okay, now we're going to create our first turtle. Okay, and I'm going to name my turtle Jabba because I like Star Wars. Okay, and so I'm going to say Jabba equals, and I'm going to say Jabba is a turtle. Okay, comes from the turtle library, and then I'm going to specify not only that he comes from the turtle library, but that it is officially one of the turtles. All right, so that's kind of a funny thing. And whoops, it's just turtle singular there. Notice I've got a capital T on my second turtle. So when we look at this, we can say the following. We're going to create a window. It's going to come from the turtle library, and it's going to be a screen. Okay. Now we've created Jabba here. Jabba is coming from the turtle library, and he's going to be the turtle that appears on that screen. Does that make sense? Because sometimes when you first start this and you just start seeing things like turtle.screen, turtle.turtle, it looks like nonsense, but it's not. Okay, this is calling the library and calling what we're pulling out of that library. So it's from the turtle library, we're getting the screen. From the turtle library, we're getting a turtle. So now we have a turtle named Jabba. Okay, so I'm going to put a little hashtag in here. And so this creates a turtle named Jabba, like Jabba the Hutt. Okay, I'm going to just put in parentheses here. When we create this turtle, he will be facing the east. Okay, so in turtle, we're going to use the cardinal directions to tell where our turtle is going. So towards the top of our screen will be north, bottom of the screen will be south, to the right of the screen will be east, and to the west of the screen, or sorry, to the left of the screen will be west. Okay, so every time we create a turtle in this, he's going to be facing east. Now, the idea behind the turtle is as follows. They wanted to create a little coding program that we could use to direct a turtle to walk around in his little sandbox. Okay? And as the turtle is walking around in his sandbox, you can tell where he's been. He scratches into the sand, right? They like to imagine with his tail. Okay, so his little tail's hanging down, and as he walks around, he scratches. So if we tell our turtle to go forward a certain number of steps, that turtle will move forward that number of steps. He can interpret English perfectly. Okay, our little turtle can, in this case Java. And his little tail will drag a straight line in the sand, right? Now, if we say, hey, turn left 90 degrees, our little turtle, where he's at, will turn left 90 degrees, which will be perfectly to the left, right? And then we say, hey, move forward again, but this time only move forward, 50 steps. He'll move forward 50 steps, and he'll scratch another little line, right? So we'll have essentially an L shape that we've created. And so that's the idea. Now, we can tell the turtle to do other things, too. For example, we can tell him to lift his tail so he doesn't make a line, right? We can tell him to put his tail back down so he does make a line. We can tell him to, go in a circle. We can tell him to bear down extra hard with his tail so he makes an extra thick line, and things like that. Now, in our computer, the turtle also has the ability to change the color of the line, so we'll work with that as well, okay? All right, so what we're going to do now is I want you to hit enter a couple of times, and I'm going to have you type another little code in here. So right now, we've just created a turtle, and I'm going to have you type WN for window, okay? And I'm going to have you type in exit on click. All right, this is another little function. Since we're going to be creating a separate window, it's nice to be able to close that window out without having to restart the program or something to get rid of it. And so by putting this little function in here, it's just basically saying that when we click on the window that we create, that it'll just close down. The program will be done. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and run this. So you guys might want to say this is intro to turtles, because tomorrow we're going to do loops in turtle. Okay? I'm going to hit OK. And here's what you're going to see. Okay? Not very much right now. It's not very exciting. And that's because we're going to add to it, okay? But I've got my window. Notice it says Python Turtle Graphics up at the top. That's the name of the module. And I've got my screen here where my turtle's going to be doing its thing, right? It's the sandbox that we're keeping it in. And there's my turtle. Right now it's a little arrow. I'll tell you, you guys can change the shape. If you want it to be a turtle, it's actually fairly easy to do, okay? So now if I click on this screen, it should disappear, and it does, okay? So that's what my exit on click function down here did. All right. Now, I don't like the arrow. Actually, the arrow's kind of nice because it shows you which direction things are going, but I'm gonna change it up here, okay? I'm gonna say something about Java. So I'm gonna alter Java now, and one of the things I want to do is change his shape, okay? So I'm gonna type java.shape. So I'm talking about Java now, and I'm gonna alter his shape. I'm going to use a parentheses, and the nice thing about Python here is it can actually just interpret colors that you click in or you type in. So I'm going to make him green because that seems like a good color for Java, okay? And I'm going to say, okay, turns Java green, okay? Oops, not shape. I said that's if I'm doing color. I should say shape here. I want him to be a turtle. There we go. How about that? Turns Java into a turtle icon. That's right. I know it exactly. All right. All right. So I'm going to turn him into a turtle, and now I'm going to color him so he's not boring. So I'm going to say Java dot color because I'm going to change Java's color. And I'm going to turn it green. Okay. In parentheses there. Notice I'm just using the string green. Python will actually interpret that as the color green. There's a lot of different colors that Python can do, things you wouldn't expect. Like there's one called Peach Puff. There's a color called Peach Puff. There's a color called you can type in like hot pink, light green. So there's a lot of different things it can recognize here, okay? And this is just going to turn Java green, okay? So if I run this, now I'm going to see, instead of that little arrow in the middle of the screen, I have a little green turtle, which is super adorable, right? It makes us feel good when we see living things because we're a living thing. It means more to us. All right. So if I click on the screen, it exits, right? All right, so let's make Java do something, okay? Java's in Star Wars is a pretty rotund individual, right? So also what I want to do is I want to make him produce a really big path when he's walking around. So So I'm going to now set Java to pin size. And notice the little drop down here. Do you guys see this right here? There's a lot of different information you can actually like pin up and pin down. Pin color, we can actually change the color of the pin color if we want to. A lot of different things we can do there. Some of those actually have a shortened version of, like you don't have to say pin up, pin down. You can just say up or down, okay? But I'm going to set my pin size here to a 10. That's going to be so it's going to draw a line basically 10 pixels wide, okay? Just like as if you were using a font, right? Or you were working in PowerPoint, you were setting the borders on a shape or something like that, okay? All right, now let's make Java do something. I'm going to start out by turning Java left, okay? So all I have to do is type Java left, okay? And now we're going to imagine that we're dealing with 360 degrees, okay? So if I want to turn Java left at like a perfect left, that's going to be 90 degrees, right? So I'm going to put left 90, okay? So when I look at my turtle, and you don't have to run this right now, but I just will run it there. Notice that my turtle is now pointing. He was pointing to the east. I just turned him left 90 degrees, so now he's pointing directly to the north, okay? Now I'm going to move him. I'm going to do this by saying Java, go forward, okay? And it's pretty arbitrary, however, you know, you want to do this. I'm going to tell him to go 160 steps, okay? So I imagine this in my head, like literally like there's a little turtle there, and he really will do anything I say, right? So I'm like, Java, yeah, I want your pen size to be 10, right? Now, I know, right? I know. I just, every time you type that, be really, really careful that you get all your letters in the proper spot, right? And then I'm like, Java, turn left 90 degrees. So Java's going to turn left 90 degrees, right? And then I'm saying Java, forward 160 steps. Okay, so if I run that, now we can watch what happens. There he goes, right? He made a big old fat path there because Java's, again, he's pretty portly. So he's scraped a nice big straight line through my sand there. All right, so from here, you can really just kind of start playing around. It'll be experimental for a lot of folks, right? So let's say I want him to move again. I'm going to move him left. So once he's made his 160 steps forward, I'm going to have him move left 90 degrees again, okay? And then I'm going to tell him to go forward. So Java dot forward. All right, could I tell him to go right? I mean, I could, right? I'm having him go left right now for whatever reason. I'm going to have him move forward 75 steps. Okay, so he's making some nice hard right angles right now, but it doesn't have to be that. You can make him go whatever angle you want. You can turn him 1 degree. Okay, you can turn him, you know, 359 degrees. It doesn't really matter. You just got to kind of keep track of it, right? And maybe run it frequently. I'm going to tell him to go now Java, go left again. This time I'm going to go 135 degrees. So I'm going to really make him turn around here. And then Java, go forward. And this time I'm going to have him go 200 steps, okay? I'm going to run that, see what happens. And there we go. There he goes. He's making a rune, okay? I don't know what that rune is. Does anybody know their runes? What's that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know my runes. But it sure looks like one to me. So I'm pretty sure we could probably look up some Norse runes and figure out what that says. But I don't know. Okay. So anyway, you can just kind of play around with that, right? That's really turtles in a turtle shell. If we want to, guys, at any point while you're playing around with this, you can have more than one turtle on the screen at a time. I can create another turtle. So if I create Boba, I'm going to do it the same way. Now, notice I do not have to import turtle again because I'm still working in here. I don't have to open up a window again because I already did that. So really, if I wanted to, I could space this out a little bit. So I'm going to create a turtle called Boba here. Boba.turtle, make sure you capitalize that. Okay, what I'm saying is from the turtle library, I'm making a new turtle named Boba. Okay, I'm going to make him blue. Boba.color, blue. Boba.shape. I better make him a turtle too, since this is Star Wars in the turtle universe. Okay, he's turtle. Boba Fett's not nearly as hefty as Java, so I'm gonna set his pin size to a 5. Okay. And then you guys can do whatever you want. You know, we could move him around if we want to. He's going to start in the same place as Jabba did, so maybe I'll just turn him away. He doesn't really want to hang out with Jabba much. So I'm going to say, Boba, turn right. I'm going to make you turn 90 degrees. Boba, move forward. I'm going to have you move forward, I don't know, 100 steps. Okay? And so you can just keep playing with this and running it, and you should be good. Now notice what I've got here. I've got little Boba down here. He's making a much skinnier line. I turned him blue, so that makes it more interesting. Notice I didn't have to specify the pin color here because I already made Boba blue, so he's already going to make the same color. Okay? And so you can, play around with this. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to have him turn left now, 90 degrees. You're going to see you use 90 degrees a lot, but you certainly don't have to. And move him forward 100 again. Okay, so that's all really I'm going to introduce to you guys today. We only got about 6 minutes left in class. You might want to play around with this. Note that I gave you a task today, guys. I want you to write a turtle program that draws a hexagon. When you go through the book, they're going to show you how to draw a triangle and a square, but you will easily be able to extrapolate that out into a hexagon, no problem. You can probably even figure out some other fun things to do. We're trying to keep it nice and simple now.